Bear and the United Way of the Greater Triangle share a vision of using innovation to meet the challenges facing our world today and in the future. In order to meet the demands of our rapidly evolving 21st century world, we need a diverse range of voices, ideas, and investments. That is part of the role of Leaders United. Our mission is to be a force for positive change by bringing communities together and promoting collaboration. Our work is also focused on inspiring the next generation of leaders. We want to hear their voices, share their ideas, and support their visions. We invite you to meet a few of the entrepreneurs in our community who are working to make the Triangle a great place to call home.
One day I was out for a walk after school and I was in a terrible mood and I had had a really long day and I was grumpy and I was and as I was walking I was listening to a podcast, something that I had downloaded, and my mood was improving, I was learning something, I was getting some fresh air and exercise, and as a teacher you can never stop being a teacher, you're sort of always thinking about your students, and so while I was walking and learning I was thinking my kids could do this. And so what I did is the next day I wrote a grant. I applied for a classroom set of MP3 players, which I got. And then I started to record some of the lessons that I would have taught to my students. And I searched the internet for things that might be appropriate for fifth graders. There weren't really a whole lot of educational appropriate things for fifth graders. And the kids love it. The kids think they're sort of getting out of something. They think that, with the walking classroom, they don't have to do work. I'm not a business person. I am a teacher. My heart and soul is that of a teacher. And so the reason we created the program the way we did is so that, as a nonprofit program, is so that as many teachers as possible who wanted to implement this program, who are looking for additional tools to help their kids, can get it. And it was truly such a game changer. All the kids benefited from being outside and getting some fresh air. My dream is for students to realize how impactful walking can be for the rest of their lives. Being able, to get out and get some fresh air and exercise without sacrificing instructional time was huge. And so we were able to cover a lot of things at once so that they learned something on the walk, but then when we got back to class, they were ready to do even more.
There was a lot of aha moments. There was an aha moment in college when I was graduating, and I looked around and I realized that I was at a historically black institution and I was the one black male that was graduating with a chemistry degree that year. It really made me kind of think about what led to this point and why was I the only one? Because I knew I wasn't that special, right? Ever since I've been out of undergrad, I've been doing education work. Even by, I guess, generational knowledge, I got a little bit of education experience. And what I became kind of very familiar with is this racial socialization research, which speaks about how parents talk to their kids about race. And so because that's really the crux of the work that we do, it was important for me to learn as much as I could. When I found out that some parents were doing this, I was like, well, we have to try to do this intentionally. That was really kind of the light bulb moment for me. It was like, hey, you got to go out there and see if you can try to work with families as they try to navigate these really difficult conversations. I'm a former teacher. Spent about 4 years teaching middle school and high school science, but there was a challenge because I wasn't necessarily preparing the kids for life after my classroom, right? But I wasn't really doing anything to impact that, but I had really good test scores. And so that wasn't necessarily why I was there though. I wanted to make sure that kids were prepared for life after my classroom. And so I actually left teaching to pursue a doctorate in education, and that's kind of what put me on the path to starting Village of Wisdom. It just became really apparent that this was the thing that I needed to do. I envision a world where everyone is free to kind of enjoy the things that they would like to do, that they're able to kind of live up to their biggest and brightest dreams, and that they're able to plug in to the fabric of this world.
So as I was growing up, working in nonprofits and volunteering at the soup kitchen and working in food pantries, I always thought that there could be more. I thought that there needed to be another place that I was serving people on a soup kitchen line, but I was serving people that looked just like me, that there were kids who looked just like me. And why was I standing on the other side of the line? There was a physical barrier between us. I really just kept thinking what we could do. And so I began researching, this concept of pay what you can cafes, a place that would combine food and community and bring all people together. My dream for the next year is to get it open. I really hope and pray that we can find a location and be able to open this cafe and be a place for the community to come in the next year. I think I'm the one that had the vision and said it out loud. So I started building a team and decided that food would be our tool towards creating community, that we could use the pay what you can system, create a restaurant and cafe in Raleigh that would be inclusive of both my friends who sleep outside and my friends who I get to dine with most nights out. My dream for a place at the table is that all people feel welcome, all people have access to a healthy, affordable meal, and all people come together to be the community that Raleigh can be, and to love one another.
You asked me 5 or 6 years ago, would I be starting a company where I'd be working with youth and teaching them multimedia skills and producing content for organizations, I would have said you're lying. It's not happening. I was originally a mechanical engineering major. I just really was trying to reevaluate what I wanted to do with my life. Went through a personal depression period, and engineering wasn't quite working anymore. So I was looking at, how can I make an impact in the world? And social entrepreneurship really became an interest of mine. So I took time off from school, and for 5 years, I ran a music production program in the music studio for the Boys and Girls Club. And I bring my keyboard every day, and the kids had talent, and we just jam out. And I saw the way that music and the arts had an impact on these kids, especially as it related to social issues that they were dealing with. And that kind of birthed the idea of how do I impact youth through the arts? This kind of cross between the arts and social justice. And that's where the Malkuta Project was really born, the idea. And it was through that where the kids really saved me. And when I could see the impact they could have on me and the little bit that I can give on them, that's what sparked this journey. And now it's changed my life where I don't want to do anything else. Being able to be connected through the digital arts, to be able to tell their stories and empower them. That's really the larger vision. It's a global kind of connectivity and a global network. So that's what I'm shooting for. One step at a time.
So I believe in open collaboration to solve problems. As an engineer, we get together to be able to solve different problems with the knowledge from different people. Ideally, we would like to make this a community where we bring in the partners from the community that need our services to help them with the data services, but also bring in students and professionals that can help solve these problems for all of us. Where they started talking about how data is used and could be used to make our communities much better. And I've seen in business how we use it to make decisions, how we use it to drive at where we're going to put some programs together. But then it makes me think, okay, how can we really tap into this resource of the data? After that, I participated in several civic technology community events where I saw how people were coming together to solve these problems for our society. And that really inspired me. My dream for this idea is to open the eyes of the community of what are the problems and what are the opportunities to solve these problems with the technology and the data, and also to bring engagement and bring collaboration together.
It is exciting to see the passion and commitment of these entrepreneurs. On behalf of Bear and the United Way, we thank you for your dedication to creating a better life for people right here in this area. Known for its innovative spirit, the Triangle will continue to thrive as the changing demographics of the region are reflected in our future leaders and innovators.